So do you also use Thinkific and Calendly for your own business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to automatically enroll learners in Thinkific from Calendly sessions. So like you, I also use Calendly and Thinkific for my own edutech company. What we do is we use Calendly to conduct one-on-one orientation, and once we conduct the orientation, I want to enroll the students into the course in my Thinkific account. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Calendly and Thinkific, and we are going to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language using an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to automatically enroll learners in Thinkific whenever someone books a session through Calendly. It is perfect for coaches, educators or consultants who want to seamlessly connect booking with course access. Once the session is scheduled, the learner details are sent to Thinkific and the user is enrolled. So what is happening is that I'm running a edutech company and I conduct a 30-minute meeting with the new students before giving them the course access. And now what I want is that whenever they book this meeting, automatically with the help of the same details, they should get the course access. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect using which we're going to create this automation. But before we move on further, I'll just show you something really helpful. This right over here is Pabbly Community, where automation users, business owners and marketers connect. You can ask questions, share workflows and get instant replies and helpful feedback from others who have faced these similar challenges. It's an active and supportive space to learn and grow together. The link to join this is in the description box below. Make sure to check it out. I'm just going to move in forward and create this amazing automation. So I'm just going to go back towards the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect to connect different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this button which says access now to access my Pabbly Connect account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connect account. And to get started, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as this, which says how to automatically enroll learners in Thinkific from Calendly sessions. And then I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application right over here, which is Calendly. So I'm just going to search for Calendly and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to simply select it as new invite a created user and click on this button which says connect. Now in order to connect this Calendly account, I'm just going to go towards this add a new connection and then connect with Calendly. And now once I'm just going to click on this connect with Calendly, with this my Calendly account has been connected with my Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the organization and the user, so I'm simply going to select both of this and click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, you have to keep in mind that you have the Calendly Pro plan in order to use this integration. Alright, and now it is saying waiting for the webhook response. So we're just going to get this webhook response by doing the test submission. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to copy this link right from here and I'm just going to open it in a new tab. And let's say I'm just going to book a meeting right over here. So let's say I'm just going to book it for 17th of July, 9 a.m. All right. And now for the first name, I'm just going to enter my first name, which is test, last name, which is user, the email address, and the phone number. And after entering all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this schedule event. And now you can see it is saying you are scheduled. So with this, we have successfully booked this meeting. So now I'm just going to open my workflow, and Pabbly is going to capture the response of this 30-minute meeting, which I've booked right now as test user right over here. And as you can see that we have successfully received the response right over here. And these are the exactly same details which we entered during our test submission. So with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now I'm just going to move on towards my action step. And now I'm just going to enroll the learners in Thinkific. But what happens is that I don't only use Calendly for this orientation session. I conduct many meetings through Calendly. But I want to enroll learners only in the case of this orientation session. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to simply add a filter condition right over here in this workflow. For that, I'm just going to select my action application as filter right over here. And now for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as filter values and click on this connect. So as you can see that over here, we have received the name of the meeting. I'm just going to show you it right over here. So as you can see that we have received the name of the meeting, which is this 30-minute meeting with new students. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to set up the filter condition using this name only. So I'm just going to look for the same right over here, and I'm just going to select it as the label. For the filter type, I'm just going to keep it as equals to, and now I'm just going to enter the value and click on this save and send test request. So if the resource name is equals to this, then only this workflow is going to move on further. All right, now after adding this filter condition, I'm just going to enroll the learners in Thinkific. For that, I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Thinkific. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. For the action event, first we're just going to create the user, and then I'm just going to enroll the user. So to enroll the user, we first have to create one. So I'm just going to go to this create user and click on this connect. And now in order to connect this Thinkific account, I'm just going to go to this add a new connection and then connect with Thinkific. And now it is asking me for the subdomain. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to open my Thinkific right from here, and I'm just going to copy the whole URL, and I'm just going to paste it right over here in my workflow. But it is saying the subdomain is only after this https:/ and before .thinkific.com. So I'm just going to simply erase the rest of the details and keep my subdomain, and then click on this save button. And once I'm just going to click on this save button right over here, yes, you're going to see that my Thinkific account has been successfully connected. And now it is asking me for the first name, last name, and the email address. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected Calendly as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map the first name, then I'm just going to map the last name, and at last I'm just going to map the email address right over here in order to create a new user in my Thinkific. And now it is asking me for many other details like the password and the roles. So all of these details are not the required details, but if you wish, you can definitely fill out these details. I'm not going to fill in these details, and I'm just going to simply click on this save and send test request. If you wish, you can definitely fill out the rest of the details too. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received the positive response right over here that we have successfully created a new user in our Thinkific account. So I'm just going to open my Thinkific account, and I'm just going to refresh this all users page. And once I'm just going to refresh this all users page, yes, you can see the full name, which is test user right over here, and the same email address. Using these details, a new user has been created in my Thinkific account. So yes, now what I want is I'm just going to enroll this into my course. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to enroll this user in my course. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. Once again, for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Thinkific, but this time for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as enroll user and click on this connect. I've recently connected my Thinkific account, so I'm simply going to go to this select existing connection and then save. And once I'm just going to click on this save, it is asking me for the course in which I want to enroll the user. So I'm simply going to select the course right over here. And now it is asking me for the user ID. So instead of selecting the user ID like manually, I'm just going to map it because I want to turn this field as dynamic. So I'm simply going to map the user ID from the response of my previous step right over here. And once I'm just going to map this user ID, it is asking me for the activated date and the expiry date. So if you wish, you can definitely enter this, but this is not the required field. So I'm just going to leave it as blank and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we successfully enrolled this user into my course. So I'm just going to open my Thinkific. Now I'm just going to go towards this user enrollments, and over here you're going to see that this user has been enrolled into my course, which is PHP course. So yes, you can see that with this we have successfully created a user in Thinkific and enrolled that user into our course whenever a new invitee is created in my Calendly. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow, but now I'm just going to test this workflow once, and this time I'm just going to give you a real-time example. So I'm just going to open my Calendly, and what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do another test submission with the new details. So first I'm just going to copy this link, open it in a new tab, and this time I'm just going to do the test submission with the new details, and we're going to check that if the user is getting enrolled in my course or not. So what I'm just going to do is, let's say I'm just going to select the date and time right over here, and let's say I'm just going to enter the details as this, and I'm just going to click on this schedule event. And yes, you can see that we have successfully scheduled this event. And now what I'm just going to do is, now I'm just going to open my Thinkific account. I'm just going to go towards this users and then towards this all users, and over here we're going to check that if a new user has been created, and as you can see that this new user has been created. All right, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to open it and check that if this user has been enrolled into the course, and as you can see the user has been enrolled into the course. So with this we have successfully completed this workflow, and we have also tested it in real time. So now we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. Whenever someone is going to schedule this orientation, automatically they're going to be enrolled into my course. All of this is going to happen in backend. All right, so now go try this amazing automation for your own business, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.